race fans, and welcome to this edition of Inside NARC as we preview the upcoming Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial on June 3rd at Placerville Speedway in Placerville, California. The NARC 410 Sprint Car Series returns to action since taking last weekend off. Last time they were in action was on May 20th at Petaluma Speedway. We'll start things off with the announcer at Placerville Speedway, Gary Thomas. He'll lead things off. Well, on the phone with Gary Thomas. Gary is the announcer at Placerville Speedway as well as the publicist. And Placerville Speedway for the last couple of years has been the home for the Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial. And Gary, yet again, the Bradway is back. And it sounds like it is going to be a great night, Saturday night, with the return of the NARC 410 Sprint Car Series.
Yeah, Ben, the Bradway's always routinely been one of the bigger events in Northern California, particularly, for the NARC series. And there was a time, over the course of maybe a 4 or 5 year period where it was the biggest event for the NARC series. And it still is obviously one of the biggest. But there's a lot of people that make it happen, and we're really excited for the weekend.
And it's not just a race. It's paying homage to a great man who unfortunately we lost in 1987, and it has been well promoted by some of his family members as well as some of his friends.
Yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to see Junior race, but I know going to this event my whole life and hearing the stories about him, he was just a great guy and a hard-nosed racer that worked hard for what he got, and it is our honor to host it for the third straight year at Placerville Speedway. The Tuccelli family, the Bradway family have done a great job the last couple of years kind of taking the torch over from Dave and Diane DeRica, who organized the event for 20 some odd years. Before them, Rick and Kim got it up and running back in the early 90s. So, we got to thank Karen Bradway Tuccelli, Steve Tuccelli, and their entire family for once again hustling up all the lap money, the extra awards, and the teams are going to benefit come Saturday.
And what is really interesting, you kind of have to look twice at it. This is the only time that NARC goes to Placerville. So it is a very special opportunity. And with the close points race that is on tap between Corey Day and Dominic Scelzi, a little bit of a shakeup. And both drivers have won the last two races of this event.
Yeah, and it's funny. You probably look at a guy like Dominic. I know he's kind of said in the past and said this year that, Placerville is not, one of his, tracks that he would go to and think he's going to win a race. So, you never know what's going to happen. Corey Day doesn't have a lot of laps at Placerville, but as you said, he won last year. He ran really good at the SCCT opener back in March. And it's great to see 410s at Placerville Speedway. We always kind of liken it to jet fighters in the gymnasium. They get around there so fast. The track record is in the 9-second bracket, and it's going to be a great field and a great show.
Well, and you have a couple other drivers that are capable of winning there. Justin Sanders, he's won there a couple of times in 360 competition. And it's interesting. You look at the past winners list of this event. Andy Forsberg and Shane Golobic are a couple of guys that have not won this race. But why not 2023?
Yeah, and you said it. Justin Sanders, when you have a sprint car race at Placerville, the last few years, you point to Justin Sanders as the odds-on favorite. He just been so dominant, especially in weekly competition there. So he's going to be a favorite at the Bradway. Andy Forsberg has been trying to win a 410 race at Placerville for 20 some odd years. I remember early 2000s or so, he had made a comment to his wife Candace that if he didn't win that night, he was going to ride home in the back of the pickup truck, and still hasn't been able to do it. He's been close before. He's got a great opportunity ahead of him. And Shane Golobic, you just mentioned him. He did a great job on Sunday to win in Chico. And, that team seems to be clicking on all cylinders right now. Shane's beat the Outlaws at Placerville. He's another one that is always a favorite, no matter if it's a sprint car or a midget. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch this weekend as well. So it truly is a deep field where you never know who's going to win it.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the Tuccelli family, the Bradway family. Any other folks that you want to send a shout out to, or any other awards you want to specify on that are going to be up for grabs this year?
Yeah, so the Bradway, I've always thought is really cool is that it's not just one major corporate sponsor that makes it happen. It's really a collective agreement among fans and sponsors and crew members and racers, owners. Everyone chips in a little bit here and there. Excited to continue the Car Wash Mike Avila Fast Time Award. Mike was a great guy, one of my best friends, and we unfortunately lost him 10, 12 years ago, and this award has been very special at the Bradway. It actually started when Jason Myers and his wife Robin brought the idea up the year after Car Wash passed away and said, hey, why don't we put up some money for Car Wash, the Bradway? So we did it that first year, and it's stuck ever since. The winner of it's going to get a custom Jägermeister trophy, $1,100 cash as of now. Normally that award goes up a little more when it comes race day. There's extra money on the line for the heat race winners, courtesy of a lot of people, the Bradway family, Mike Murphy family, Racing for Babies. And then we do want to, of course, point out the extra money for the A-Main winner, courtesy of C&H Motor Parts. And then my bosses, Scott and Cammie Russell with Sierra Foothills Wine Service. They each put up $1,000. So that gives you at least $5,000 minimum to win this race, plus all the lap money as well.
It's just super, super cool, and I'm really looking forward to seeing 410s for the first time at Placerville.
Yeah, like I said, they're fun. I mean, it's there was years where the 410s would go there 2 or 3 times with the NARC Series or Golden State or King of the West, whatever you want to call it. And now it's one time only with NARC. So we hope all the fans will come out and support the show. There's a lot of money on the line, and once again, reserve tickets are on sale if you go to placervillespeedway.com. So you can lock up your seats and be guaranteed a great seat for Saturday.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not a psychic. I don't have a crystal ball. That thing broke, very early in my life. But I would say it's going to be capacity crowd, probably one of the best crowds you have all year. So get there early and get your tickets now.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about doing the reserve seating that Scott and Cammie have done this year. You can kind of guarantee your seat. Many years ago, they didn't even open the grandstands till 5 o'clock, and for all the folks that have been to Placerville, they knew how long that line would get and how this grandstand would fill up when the 410s come. So lock up your seats now, and there's a lot of great seating on the hill as well. We want to point out if you want to get a pit pass. Really, the best view in the house is from the hill. So, if you want to go buy a pit pass and sit in those big old new bleachers that Scott put in a couple of years ago, that's another great opportunity as well.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday, and I know it's going to be a great time.
I'm ready to go, Ben. I appreciate you having me on, and we'll see everyone Saturday.
Well, I'm on the phone with Jim Allen, and Jim, after a week off, everybody's ready to regroup with the NARC 410 Sprint Car Series at Placerville Speedway, a historic racetrack with the historic event with the Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that we're already up to number 32 as far as this racing event goes, and I don't want to say I'm old or anything, but I was actually around during the very first one. So, yeah, this is an event that's got a lot of history, and it's amazing what kind of sponsorship support that we get from race fans out there. And it's our only trip to Placerville Speedway this year. So it's got a whole lot of good things going for it.
Yeah, I was noticing that kind of took me back a little bit, but it's always, I've only been to Placerville once, and it is such a cool place. And I think it's going to be a packed house because Placerville fans love 410 racing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we keep working with Scott and Cammie, and every year we go, hey, we're going to get a couple, 3 races going at Placerville. And then, all the other events start dropping in place. And then we turn out we don't have any other place to put it. But yeah, the fans up there are definitely, I'd say, rabid for sprint car racing. And it's like racing around your high school track, and you put 24 cars around there. There's always something going on at that racetrack, so there's never a dull moment.
And what's really great for our competitors that are based in the Sacramento area, it's really a home game for them. They're not having to travel to the Bay or the Valley.
Absolutely, yep. And the weather's going to be good too. So yeah, it's right up Highway 50. Like I said, we got to figure out a way to go to Placerville more often. And then, something else that's taking place is we're going to have a 40-lap feature event. So I guarantee there's nobody who's going to go lead laps 1 through 40. There's too many things that could happen on that racetrack. So, and I like it for home game. It's the closest to my house. I get to drive a whopping 30 minutes to a racetrack. I don't even know, I'm not going to leave at like 10 a.m. in the morning like I normally do to go to a racetrack. I'm going to leave at like 2:30. It's going to be great.
You could almost get a couple rounds of golf in before you got to take off.
It could happen. So, yeah, don't put it past me. So,
okay.
So, yeah, but we've got a great thing. We got, like I said, all the laps in the feature event are sponsored at $100 a piece, which you're going to pay $50 to the leader, $30 for second place, and $20 for third. We've got Fast Time is going to pay $1,100. Third Quick, $300. There's a lot of plays on the number 3. Mm-hmm. If you lead the third lap in the feature, that's worth $1,000 from Roseville Precision. If you pull a 3-pill for the Trophy Dash draw, that's worth $1,000. Main event winners got he's pocketing $5,000. Heat race winners are worth $300. Hard Charger is up to $650, and there's even a Hard Luck Award for $300. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of reasons to show up and support this event.
Absolutely. So, yeah, well, we're hoping that race fans go up the hill. It's going to be a great day of racing. Matter of fact, not just a great day. They've made a weekend out of it. So you got the Sprint Car Challenge Tour on Friday night. You got us on Saturday night. It's a great way to spend a weekend if you're an open wheel fan.
Well, like I said, I've only been to Placerville once, never for 410. So I've been told that I'm in for a treat. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Yep. You're going to have a good time.
Well, Corey Day, the defending Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial winner, headed into Placerville next week. I know that you guys are hungry for a win and to become a 2-time Bradway winner.
Yeah, that definitely be ideal. Last year did it in the 57, but we were good in the 14 early this year there. So I'll be running my family car, the 41 car on Friday, and then I'll be running the 14 on Saturday with NARC. So excited to get back to Placerville. It's a cool place, and it's always really, really good for racing. So definitely excited.
What does it mean for your career to win this event? I mean, you look at the list of drivers that have won it before, and it's just incredible. It's really a who's who in the state of California that have been able to get the job done.
Yeah, for sure. And Placerville is kind of a one-off place in California. There's not much like it, so to be good there, win there is really cool too. So it was pumped to win it last year, and it'd be cool to win it in the 14 this year.
Well, Justin Sanders, Placerville next for the NARC 410 Sprint Car Series, a place that for 2023, you guys have been pretty solid in 360 competition. Got a handful of wins there, and I know that you'd like to have a Bradway added to your resume.
Yeah, I actually have a Bradway, but up in Chico. Want to cut a lot of the big races at Placerville. I guess now that the Bradway's at Placerville, I got to try to knock that one off. But I think we've knocked off a lot of the Placerville wins and just try to keep plugging away and try to keep doing good there. Placerville's a really good racetrack, always racy, always fun to drive. Always, we see guys coming from the front to the back. So look forward to going there next week, and we'll just try to pick off another one.
It should be a fun race. I mean, the car count should be really good too. And like you said, Placerville, it's a unique place. It's a giddy-up joint where there's a lot of stuff happening all over the racetrack.
Yeah, you just got to be aware of where the racetrack's changing and how it's changing, and because it does transition a lot. It'll go from top to bottom to middle, back up to the top, it kind of utilizes lines that you wouldn't think of. So it's all about just keeping your eye open when the racetrack's changing and just keeping up on top of like I said, the lines in your entries and being patient and just making the right calls.
I'm on the phone with Bud Kaeding. And Bud, former winner of the Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial, and no doubt to add another one of those prestigious trophies to your case would be delightful for you and your race team.
It'd definitely be great to win another one. Placerville's when we won it was at Chico. At Placerville's been good and bad to us. I think, like I said before, in the previous weeks we spoke, we kind of got things going in a better direction. I think we proved that at Petaluma. And just hopefully we can continue to, keep our stuff heading in the right direction versus stepping backwards this weekend. So, we'll go there and get a, good night on Friday night. We're going to run Friday night with 360 portion of the series, the weekend, and then, the NARC race on Saturday. So excited for the both nights up there. The Bradway race has always been a big race to our family. My dad's won it several times, as well as my brother. And you won it there, and I don't know, it was 18. I think when we won it, 17 or 18. Be cool to get back in victory lane with the NARC series. Definitely at the Bradway. I remember being a kid at home, and my dad calling home from Skagit and telling my mom that that Junior had gotten killed up there. So, him and my dad were enemies on the track, but actually really good friends off of it. So, that's, I guess, a big reason that race has been really close to our family, and special to win. So, to get another one would be great.
Well, and you touched on your performance at Petaluma, and definitely I emphasize the word strong, a strong second place effort for you guys. And you were on kill. You were actually catching Dominic there, and then the yellow came out.
Yeah, it was. It's been a good track to us for sure. Petaluma has, and we just we were really strong all night. Car was solid from pretty much hot laps forward. Timed in well, and won the heat race, which got us in the dash. And we were fortunate to get a good start in the dash there and get on the front row with Dominic, which I don't know if it helped or hurt us, but being on the inside was definitely key. And then we had yellow there toward the end. I think we were running Dominic down, and I thought there was 11 to go, so I was kind of licking my chops thinking we were going to get a double file restart there. And I guess the board was messed up, or I don't know what the heck was going on, but regardless, there was only 9 to go, so we were single file. So that place was pretty dominant on the top. It was a bit greasy on the bottom to try to make anything happen. So getting out of there with a podium, our first one of the year, was a pretty good feeling for our team, and hopefully we can carry the momentum into the weekend, and then on up through Speed Week and the Dirt Cup.
Well, Placerville coming up next. You said it's been good and bad to you. A couple wins, I think, with the series there, and it's a place that I've watched races there, very action packed. It'll be my first time seeing 410s, but it's a place. Don't go off the top. Don't go sailing off the top. That would be that wouldn't be a good ending.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild track, man. There's always something going on, so you can be looking anywhere and see good racing. I know Scott. I think he made a good move making it a 2-day race rather than trying to cram all the 360s and all the 410s in on the same night. The last couple of years that we've done that, haven't really been dealt with a good track for the second main event of the night, and even the first one for that matter. So hopefully this all works out, track condition wise and fan wise and car count wise, and it all works out for the competitors, promoters, and the racers, and hopefully it's a good weekend altogether.
Well, on the phone with me, Kaleb Montgomery. Kaleb, going to be at the Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial at Placerville Speedway this Saturday. It's going to be great to have you back with us with the NARC 410 Sprint Car Series. A little bit of a twist, though, going to be in the family car on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's actually a pleasant surprise. The Kellers are moving shops, so they're a little stressed out. Mike's girlfriend is buying a house, and they're just moving houses, so they've actually been really busy lately, and it kind of gave me an opening to take the 3 out down there. I told them that I was already going to be there on Friday, so it would just kind of work out if they wanted an off weekend, and we're just going to bring the 410 in the trailer, run the 360 on Friday, and then swap motors there at the track and run the family 3 car in the 410s with the KWS guys.
Awesome. And last time you were in the family car for a 410, do you recall that one?
It was definitely quite some time ago. It was probably a non-wing race at Santa Maria. There might have been one Hanford or Tulare show after that in the 410, but it's my first time with my Speedway, or my Autostrada, as I've mentioned before. I have yet to run this motor, so I'm actually really excited to see what it's all about and see how nice it is.
You had a decent run at Placerville earlier this year. I know that you'd like to replicate some of that success with the 410. No doubt it's a big payday if you can get P1 when the checker flag drops.
Yeah, the Dave Bradway definitely pays a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure that they have lap money. I know that they've done that years prior, and I assume they're probably doing it this year too.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, more than anything, more than the big payday, I'm just really excited to get to run my car for 2 nights. I haven't really gotten to run my car, just my car. I've always done double duty and had my duty split between the 3 and the 2K whenever I run the 3 on a double day weekend or stuff like that. So it'll be cool, just a nice relaxing weekend just in the family 3. It's been a long time since I've gotten to do this, and I think I've only ever gotten to change motors inside of my trailer once. So no matter how we do, it's going to be an awesome weekend. It's just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no doubt. And coming off of a run at Silver Dollar in the Smith 75, got the call up for that, and been in a couple different cars the last couple of weekends.
Yeah, we got to run the 4SA with the 360 SCCT on Saturday. I keep on getting my days mixed up because we ran Sunday. I keep on wanting to say Friday, but it was Saturday. And we brought home 8th, which was a good point snack for Dale. I wish we could have done a little bit better for Dale since the 4SA is it's so awesome to drive. But then moving to Sunday, I got to run Bill's 75 car. That was actually really awesome. He wasn't feeling too good, and I got his phone number and just gave him a call. And I didn't think he was going to even give me a call back, but to my surprise, he gave me a call and we chatted it up for a little bit. He's an awesome guy. I hope he starts feeling better, but I'm pretty sure today's his birthday too. So happy birthday to Bill Smith. And yeah, they're a great team. I really enjoyed running for them. Hopefully we can get to do it a couple more times in the future. We'll see how my schedule pans out, but they're great people and it was an awesome weekend.
Well, now I'm going to talk with Michael Faccinto. And Michael, you're going to be in the Friends and Family Racing number X1, racing for Steve Ticelli and Alan Bradway. This is a very special weekend for this race team, but you guys have been rolling pretty good when it comes to Placerville locally.
Yeah, no, we definitely have. Out of the last 3 times we've been there, we haven't been out of the top 5, and it just speaks to Alan and Tooch of what a great car they put together. We kind of started off the year a little bit, everyone getting back in the swing of things, and we're really picking it up now, and it's a good time to get hot. With Bradway coming up this weekend, I'm excited to do 2 nights up there at Placerville.
And the 410, racing with the NARC 410 Sprint Car Series. You guys ran a little bit with the Peter Murphy Classic. You feel like you guys got a good ballpark where you guys need to be with that program?
Yeah, the first night down there at Hanford, we had some problems that didn't allow us to run the main, and we kind of all sat around Saturday and was like, well, let's run it again. We fixed the problem. I think with the balance that we have in the 360 and all the laps that I've gathered there over the years, and obviously all the laps that they have there, I think we have a really good base. I'm excited. I think we can contend for a win this weekend.
I know that I'm terrible when it comes to predictions and stuff like that, but if you guys won that race with that team and with what it means to the family, it would be like those World Cup celebration where there's flares going off and cars are getting turned upside down.
Yeah, I mean, those guys, if it did happen and we did happen to pull it off Saturday night, I mean, I couldn't even imagine the feeling and the celebration that would go on. For myself personally, I didn't know the history of how big this race was and how long they've been doing it, and being around the team for a year now has been all the stories I've heard of the race and of why we're doing this race. It's so awesome. But yeah, it would be I don't know, we might see Tooch and Allen actually get a little bit crazy if we won Saturday night.
Absolutely. Well, Shane Golobic coming off a big non-sanctioned win at Silver Dollar Speedway. You guys had a really good weekend last weekend, and now the Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial at Placerville Speedway this Saturday. I know that you're looking for your first Bradway win in a 410, as well as your first win with the series this year. You guys have had a lot of speed this year.
Yeah, it's been a good year so far. It's been kind of split, especially 410 wise. Haven't really run our own car much. With being in the Works 57. So looking forward to being in the 17W this weekend for really the second NARC race of the year for us. So just trying to get our program going a little bit. It was good to get a couple of races in last weekend, and one of them, being 410 was really nice. And be able to get our first 410 win of the year at Chico this past Sunday felt really good. Felt good to get the car heading in the right direction and getting our program going with the 410. And I think we'll have good speed at Placerville. It's a place we're real comfortable with, and it's my favorite place to go race. So I'm really excited for that, and I'm sure the NOS Energy Drink 17W will be pretty fast. So it's just going to be our job to get it done and hopefully get our first Bradway. Been really close to winning the Bradway many times, and it's one that I definitely want to add to the resume.
Well, Andy Forsberg, defending track champion at Placerville Speedway. The Bradway is coming up next at Placerville. You guys have already got a win there this year, but I know that you'd love to add a Bradway to your racing resume. It would mean a lot to you and your race team.
Yeah, I mean, the Bradway, that race has been around so long that it's kind of gone through some generations. You know, it started out with the group of drivers that raced with Dave, and then it kind of phased them out, and then it started with the drivers that watched Dave Jr. race, and then now we're almost to a generation where nobody even was alive when Junior was alive. So I still feel like I'm one of the few that can maybe recall watching him race, and obviously I raced for his family, for quite a few years too. So my dad raced with Junior, I raced with Alan, and then drove for those guys. So there's definitely some family ties there, and just to win that race would be epic. I think I've podiumed a couple times with it, but never really been in super tight contention to win it. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe this would be the year.
Yeah, no doubt. I didn't tell this to any of the other guys on the interview, but I want to think that they used to have before there was a Road to Dirt Cup, Mike McCann used to put on a Wednesday show or something, or however that worked out date-wise, before Dirt Cup, and I believe he was at Cottage Grove, and I was just like days old, like less than 20 days old. So
wow.
So I may have possibly saw him race too. So even though I might have been sleeping.
you're in that second generation of Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial Race attendees. Sure. But yeah, it's and that's kind of the way all the memorial races go. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're super special because you have ties with these people, but then time goes on, and unfortunately maybe the coolness or the memories fade away. But those are still there for my clan and Bradway.
Well, going back a couple weeks at Petaluma, last time you raced with the NARC 410 Sprint Car Series, you guys had a decent result, put up a top 5 finish. After I know that there was a couple runs this year that you wish you would have possibly did a little bit better. Yeah,
no, we were fighting all kinds of different things there. The first couple NARC shows we ran, I mean, we kind of pulled off the 360 chase at Placerville this year. Unfortunately, I mean, I would love to race all year long at Placerville, but for every action there's a reaction, and throughout the years we've missed out on races at other tracks that we'd like to go. So finally this year we pulled the Band-Aid off, and it was kind of just about getting me some more 410 laps. I mean, it's not like I need a ton of laps, but I mean, if you want to go and try to compete with Selzy and Day and Sanders and Golobic, you got to be on your game. So just jumping into 410 once or twice a year, you're probably not going to excel at that. So the plan was just to go out and, run a 10 or 12 shows this year and just kind of get my feet wet again. And, man, our first 2 or 3 outings was just an absolute disaster, just with stupid mechanical issues, things you never heard of or never saw before. And it was nice to go to Petaluma and be competitive. The one thing I take from Petaluma is if I would have started in the front row, I had a car good enough to win, which the track was fast and narrow. Obviously, everybody, not a huge fan of that, but we started 5th and got 4th. So, I mean, we were good enough to at least run an entire night with no mechanical issues. So that was step 1 with the 410. And then we ran 4th at Chico at their 410 show at the fair. So I don't know, maybe we got our act together. We'll see Saturday.
And what do you think the trick is going to be to do well at Placerville? Is it going to come down to doing well in qualifying, how the dash sorts itself out, anything that you can put a pulse on?
Well, if you want to make life as easy as possible, you have to be, or you don't have to do anything, but I would prefer to be fast time in my heat. So just being fast time and then faking your way through the heat race, not having to win it or not having to, beat the guy in the front row to the turn 1 to win the damn thing. Just transferring from fast time spot and then just have a little luck on your side in the dash pill draw. I mean, those are the 2 crucial things for me. We've seen some of these guys, just do some amazing things, but I'm kind of past doing amazing stuff. I need some help. So if we can pull a good pill for qualifying, go out when the track's right, and qualify, I guess it would be top the fastest 4 qualifiers out of the heat directly into the dash. That's going to be step 1.